happens? What is the difference between the best and the rest? If you look at it, there are many good professionals who know how to do their tasks, who know how to communicate with others very well, and of course, who know how to manage their people too. However, but when one needs to stand out from the rest and excel in their field, look what happens. Look what happens. Good is not good enough. That's where you start wondering what happened during the interview. You know this guy is good. Not only you, probably there was a panel of interviewers, and all of us together thought that this guy or this lady is the best for this particular role. And after consultation, after all kinds of background verification, you hire this person, only to realize that good is not good enough at all. And that's where it becomes very important for us going forward. So let's look at what does the research say. The research says that in this world, only 3% are top performers. And about 10%, mind you, about 10% are good performers. But what is staggering is 60% are average performers. And shocking, 27% are poor performers. Look at it. That means 3 plus 10 is only 13% who form what you call it as the minority of the entire working population in any organization who really put in the best. And so that means it's a minority who performs. You look at that, any organization, it's only a few people who are really leading the pack. Whether be it an organization, a multinational company, be it a small business, or be it, a Rotary Club, a Lions Club, a social organization. Look at any one of them. There are only 3 or 10%, the minority who sweats it out, who actually the brain behind. They strategize, they plan events, and they do the works. But there are average performers, 60%, who do their job, whatever is given to them, probably to the best of their ability. And 27% are actually poor performers. This is so true even of a classroom of 100 students. You see only 3% getting the top ranks, about 10% are good performers in any classroom, and about 60% are average performers, and 27% are fail at least one subject, and invariably some of them are ending up dropping out. So then, we need to understand when we are hiring, what are these minority that we are hiring? So because today as a candidate, out of 100 candidates who come, mind you, 60% are average performers who are likely to come in front of you when you're hiring. So how do you unmask them? And about 27% are likely to be poor performers. How are you going to unmask them? That becomes a challenge. So let's understand the minority mindset first before we go further. So look at the minority. Think and feel different. The way they think about issues, situations, challenges, ambiguities are very, very different. And the way they feel, the way they express, the way they empathize are different. And they do ordinary things, but are willing to do the little bit extra. They are willing to go that extra mile. And that's where the entire success really happens for these top and the good performers. They have this beautiful IQ is your left brain orientation, the intelligent quotient, and they also have the EQ, the emotional. EQ is the left brain, right? Logical intelligence and language intelligence comes from here, and then you have the right brain intelligence, the emotional quotient, the visual intelligence, the interpersonal intelligence, the intrapersonal intelligence, the natural intelligence, the intuitive intelligence, the visual intelligence, the musical intelligence, the spiritual intelligence. All these come from the right brain. Huge. And that is where the whole dimension is. When you combine the IQ plus the EQ, you get an equation called SQ. What is this SQ? SQ is nothing but the success quotient. The minority believes in achieving success, achieving milestones, turning defeats into a success, right? Looking at opportunities in the middle of all challenges. What happens? They take those SQ steps, success quotient. They want to succeed every day. Small things, bit by bit, step by step. Then ultimately, the highest form of success, that's where the capital S, capital Q, which incidentally is the success quotient, which incidentally is also the spiritual quotient, which is incidentally the purpose of all life. It doesn't matter what religion we all belong to, but the purpose of all religion is the SQ, the spiritual quotient, highest form of success. That is where the minority succeed and the majority struggle. And what happens? We do have the attitude. We are talking about the attitude. We said behavior, we said attitude. You look at the attitude. Be, do, have. I want to be the best. I want to be the best in the job. I want to do and perform, contribute to the best of the organization, the project. Fantastic. To be that, what should I do? Right? I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. So they think of things and then they're ready to perform. And to do that, I need resources. I need to have that. I need to have this. I need to get that. So they talk to people, they demand of it, the resources, they argue, they convince people. Not easy in any organization. We all know that, right? We have people at various levels. They need to be convinced. So they prepare the argument, they put forward the case, they win it. They have this approach called the be, do, have. And they have self-awareness. They're clearly aware of their own strengths as well as their weaknesses. So their strengths is what they use, their weaknesses is what they, get others to complement who are good in that. Yeah, fantastic. Let's look at something else. The majority. Where does the 60% average and the poor performers, where do they have? They are ordinary performers. Their IQ, EQ is not balanced. We have heard this in many companies, wherever we have done leadership interventions at all levels in some of the best of MNCs across the world. People are telling, these our people are technically very good, but what is technically very good? I mean, they know the job, but they cannot get along with people. They are very angry, they are very upset, they are shouting, they are hooting. They don't know how to manage human resources. So people leave under such managers. So what is happening there? No balance. Either they're very emotional, very connected, logic is missing, or they're very logical, the emotions are missing, so the balance is missing, and that's probably one of the reasons. They have hidden skills, mind you. They're talented, but do not use the talent. So now, and they have this attitude, have, do, be. I don't have it, so because of that, I cannot do it. So because of that, I will not be that. Have, do, be. That's where they give you excuses. They give you justifications as to why they will not be able to perform something that you want them to perform. I'm sure you're all senior professionals. You've seen people who have told you, sorry, sir, I don't have it. I cannot speak English like you. I'm not as qualified as you are. I don't know this subject. I've never done it like this. So they're only giving you excuses as to why something is not possible. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. Because I don't have it, I cannot do it. Because I cannot do it, I will never be able to be what you are or what you expect me to do. And of course, they do not have the self-awareness. So now my challenge is, if majority of the candidates are coming in front of me are average and poor performers, how do I select the best candidate? So that is why when we spoke about interviewing, it is an internal viewing, which is what really, really matters. But talking about opportunities in any organization, opportunities in the world, even amongst the COVID times, even amongst the tough times, plenty. So what do the top performers and the good performers do? They create opportunities. They grab opportunities. They don't let go. But what happens to the majority? Average performers. They're waiting. Or they are losing opportunity. They're struggling. So now you clearly know why is it important as people who are recruiting or who are selecting people. We cannot select anybody. It is not about replacing one head with another head. It is about the right person for the right job. If we need to hire top and good performers, see, the focus is on performance, right?